Right? It's insane. Let's talk about Jonathan Kuminga because I think I'm out of things to say. We talked about this yesterday, but we've now seen that there was a report out yesterday that the Suns had offered Royce O'Neal, Nick Richards, and 4 second-round picks.
Mm-hmm.
That was a report from Shams?
Something like that, I believe.
Our guy, John Gabadoro, who is very plugged in with the Suns and does radio down in Arizona, noted online that the Suns don't have 4 second-round picks to trade.
Oh. And he also said that they have never discussed Ryan Dunn as part of a trade.
Right.
Yeah.
That is something the Warriors would probably want. The reporting on that, I think, was the Warriors would covet a player like that, not that they'd discussed it.
Like they would covet a player like Keon Ellis or Keegan.
Correct.
But have not been discussed. Or
I don't know how much more information we can squeeze out of this. We now know the contract terms that are being worked with.
Mm-hmm.
We now know kind of the general players that are being bandied about between from the King side and the Phoenix side. We know that the Warriors are not interested in any of those players. We know that Jonathan Kuminga is not interested in going back to the Warriors. And it feels like, all right, we've got it all out there. Someone do something. In fact, honestly, Warriors do something. Make a decision here.
Mm-hmm.
Because letting this drag out, trying to create some bidding war between two teams that are like, lukewarm on the guy, you're not going to get the Suns to throw in Ryan Dunn. They're not going to do that. And because of that, the Kings aren't throwing in Keon Ellis.
No.
So go or get off the pot. Dragging this out, and holding up your entire offseason, and I understand it from the Warriors' perspective. I do. They've messed this up. They have an asset that they have botched this. Jonathan Kuminga's botched things as well, but just the Warriors as a whole have botched this and have backed themselves into this corner. And my buddy Mark Grandy over at 95.7 made this point yesterday, and I think it's a great one, and it bears repeating. There's 3 options for the Warriors. You let Jonathan Kuminga play on the qualifying offer.
Yep.
That's 1. 2, you trade him for less than you were hoping to get for him. 3, you overpay to keep him. All of those are bad. There's not a good outcome here. You have to pick the best of the worst outcomes. So, this is now up to Golden State to evaluate. Do we sign Jonathan Kuminga to a 3 or 4 year deal that he is amenable to with a player option and potentially really screw this up over the next 3-4 years,
mm-hmm.
but with the possibility of trading him? Or do you trade him now and get anything back for him and just cut your losses and try and move forward and hope that Devin Carter can fit into your rotation?
It's such a tough spot to be in for a team like the Warriors. Like the other option is that they can pull the qualifying offer and just say, hey,
you're a free agent.
You're a free agent. Go ahead and get the $14.1 million that you're going to get.
Okay. A 4th option, also bad.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, like, look, the problem that the Warriors have is that no one in the league really believes that they want him back.
Right.
That's a problem. Like, there isn't like some underlying, hey, we see a great future here for him, and like all of this has been blown out of proportion. No, it's like, hey, we'll give you a 1-year deal with the team. A 2-year deal with the team option for year 2. That's just like, hey, we're trading you now.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as we can trade you, we're going to trade you.
Right.
You are nothing but a $20 million trade chip to us.
Yep.
And we don't care if you play. We don't care how many points you average. We don't care how many rebounds you get. We're just concerned with you as an asset.
Yep.
And that's a really, really difficult thing to pitch to somebody. I mean, even like the Kings, went out and they got this meeting, whatever it was, via Zoom or whatever with Kuminga. They pitched him a full idea of who he would be for them.
Mm-hmm.
And he's excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Warriors aren't doing that. They're like, well, yeah, you can be here. You can be here until you're not.
Mm-hmm.
Until we find some other big deal that we want to trade you in. And then you get to go wherever that is in the middle of the season. You get to pick up and go live in a hotel somewhere and go live some crazy life. Could be in Cleveland, could be in Miami, it could be in Indiana,
could be in Sacramento.
Yeah, we have no idea, but it's not going to be a pleasant move for you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just such an awkward situation that these teams have put themselves in. Well, that both, Kuminga and the Warriors have put themselves in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I understand it, like I said, from Golden State organizationally, because they're trying to squeeze every drop of value out of this. They have the former number 7 overall pick, and they are going to get next to nothing for him in comparison with what they thought they'd be able to get. Or they thought in comparison to what they thought he'd be.
Mm-hmm.
They drafted Jonathan Kuminga, and Joe Lacob thought Jonathan Kuminga was the next superstar. He was the next Steph Curry. He was going to be the guy that carried the torch in the post-Steph era and open up a new championship window. And now their best offer on the table is Devin Carter, Dario Saric in 2 seconds. Like that's a tough pill to swallow, but it's reality. So I get they're trying to go, okay, let's see if we can get a first from the Kings. Can you make it an unprotected first, which I would do, by the way.
In the right situation, I would do it as well.
Kenny and Damian were talking about this yesterday, and I hadn't even thought about it. They're so right. To hell with that pick. If again, and you and I talked about this, if you're committing to Jonathan Kuminga and you're going to start, we think we have these high hopes for you. Cool. See a 26 pick. Here, Warriors, you have fun with that. Because if the Kings win 40 games this year, cool, it's a mid first round pick, but you have a 23-year-old who's about the age of a guy you would have drafted anyway, but you've gotten a full year of him on your team to begin with.
Yeah, I have a different approach on that. I mean, I would like to know what Vegas's thoughts are on the Sacramento Kings with Jonathan Kuminga on the roster and one of the other pieces gone, because someone else has to go, right? Like if we could project out what their win totals would be, when you look at this team right now and Vegas has them at 35.5 wins to open, that means this is a bad team. Most people are expecting this to be a bad team. Like that line will probably go up to like 36, 37.5, right? But to start at 35.5, that's not a team that should be giving away an unprotected first round pick next year, because that could put you at 8 or 10 in the lottery, which means you could actually move up and somehow get into the top 4. And I'm not giving up a top 4 pick, the potential for a top 4 pick for Kuminga. Now, if it's something way off in the future, I get it, because you don't know if you're going to be good. But if I'm the Kings right now, I'm like, hey, you have the 2031 Minnesota Timberwolves first unprotected first round pick. That's where I would go. Like, because that is such an unknown and it's not yours. And the only thing that, like, down the road, it will be a footnote that was traded twice. It'll still be Minnesota's pick that they don't have. And it will be a footnote that it used to be the Kings pick. So if it ends up being the top pick, it's like, yeah, a couple of teams messed up there, but you're one of a couple of teams that messed up. And if I'm the Warriors, I don't care what the unprotected pick is. It's just like Kuminga. They're not looking at that pick as something that they're going to use. They're looking at that pick as a piece to a way to go get them a better player down the road. Typically.
If the difference and the reason I bristle at the idea of that might be a top 4 pick is you have to take your swing at some point.
Oh, of course.
And if the difference between if the Kings say, fine, here's this 2031 Minnesota pick, and the Warriors go, no, we want your pick. We want 2026 unprotected. That's holding up the deal. We'll overpay him if we have to, but that's what's going to hold it up. If that's what's holding it up and you're the Kings and you have this grand plan for Jonathan Kuminga, cool. Bet on yourself. Go, hey, we believe this guy is it. We think this is going to work. Here's this. If you don't believe that, if you go, you know what? Hey, we think that he might be okay. We still think we're going to suck, even if we do acquire him. So we can't trade this 26 because we're going to need it as part of this rebuild we're doing. Okay, cool, fine. But if the Kings really believe that he's that guy and they're going to spend this much time and this much energy trying to pick him up, and if they're going to trade Malik Monk or DeMar DeRozan to make sure they can fit his contract onto their team under the luxury tax, I don't know, man. Ultimately what the Kings want to do is I don't I don't know, and I understand the same way I understand Golden State's position. I understand the Kings' position of going, well, we could do an unprotected first, but also,
Why?
yeah,
Yeah.
but also we're gonna not actually. Here's our best offer. It's a top 16 protected first, or a top 12 protected, whatever protection you want to put on it. That's the best we're gonna do because we still have questions about that guy, and we don't want him to become our problem, so he can stay your problem. Like if that, fine. I don't know what other news we're gonna get here. I don't know what Golden State is waiting on. I don't, because they're the ones that are having their offseason held up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what Golden State's waiting on. I don't know what I don't know what else there is to gain. I don't know what other information we're going to learn about this situation that's going to change anyone's mind. The Warriors know what they know about Kuminga. Kuminga knows what he knows about the Warriors. The Kings know what they know about the offers the Warriors are getting. The Suns know about what offers the Warriors. You're just going to sit around and hold up your offseason?
Yeah, and I think over the last 5 days, we've basically had the Warriors put out some pretty big information.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. And then the response has been from his agent to put out some even more specific information about literally who's offering what.
Yeah.
And so you're starting to see the influx of information to flood. And what they're doing is they're debating this thing in front of the press, in front of the fan base. They're sitting here mulling it over.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really interesting way it's happening. But I'm excited to see how it all ends. To be honest with you,
going to be really interesting.
Yeah.
At least I think. The other thing we can't, well, I'll tell you the other aspect of this that isn't being discussed enough from the Golden State side. Or something that's going on with the Golden State side that we have not dived into enough that I think is a really important component of this. We'll keep talking about the Sacramento Kings offseason and the Jonathan Kuminga situation. There was some news that broke yesterday after our show, so we're diving back into that. But also the Hall of Fame game in the NFL is tonight. The start of the NFL preseason is just hours away, and we may get back into that with football right around the corner. So that's James. I'm Kyle.